Good morning, it's Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards, and today we are going to make an Easter card. And this is how you open it up. It's just a window card. I saw several ideas on YouTube, and actually I think it was on Facebook. I saw this card, something similar. But I am using the Tulips paper that's in the mini catalog. It's called Flowering Fields Designer Series paper, and I thought this made a cute Easter card. And then I have these little butterflies that they're flat and they're self-stick. And so for this card I used, let me put this over here, this up here so you can see it. I used the Tulips dies, and I used some of this stamps out of the flowering tulips. And then for the sentiment I used the Daffodil Daydream Easter Blessings. And then I used these brushed brass butterflies. I used this punch right here. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it in my list of products that I used. And then I used this ribbon. It's petal pink. It's in the annual catalog. So let's get started. I have everything cut out. I stamped the leaves and the stems, and then die cut. Let me show you which one of these I die cut for the flowers. And then I'll show you how I put them together. I die cut this one right here. This one. So I did one of those in Calypso Coral. This is Poppy Parade. I did one in Poppy Parade of that, one of this, and then this is this one, and this is petal pink. I did one of these in Calypso Coral, and then I did the big leaves, and I stamped them first on Old Olive with Evening Evergreen. I did two of these, and two stems. And then I made a bow out of the ribbon. So that's the pieces. So the first thing we're going to do, this is Basic White Thick. I put a little dab of glue here and let it dry so that I could make sure it stayed in place when I have to punch. So we're going to center that as best we can. I haven't figured out if this cardstock is off. I can't seem to get it exactly even. But anyway, so I stuck that on there, took my punch, and punched right in the center through both layers, just like so. Okay? That way you have your opening. Okay, set this aside. You don't need the tulip part, but you do need the white part. So then I took this off and glued it on. Just like so. The reason I did it that way is so that I could use the punch out pieces and put glue around the opening. Okay? So then I took this, I'm going to use this. Let's get that right back on there where I took it off. Just like so, so you don't see any white edges. Okay. And then I took this piece right here, put the lid on that so it doesn't dry up, and I stamped Easter blessings on it with Evening Evergreen. You want to try to get it up towards the top because you don't want your flowers to cover it up. Just like so. Okay. Then I took a scrap. Make sure that dries. Let's clean this off so it doesn't stain it. Okay. This is the only stamping, actual stamping that you're going to do. Is the sentiment. Okay. Then I took a blending brush and I took Pool Party. And I put some blending on here. I always start off on another piece of paper so I don't get it too dark, because I just want a light coating of this ink. You can always add more, but you can't take it off. Okay. Put the lid on that. Put this off my desk. Then I took this, and what you're going to do, it's going to fit right in this opening, just like that. And you're going to glue that on there, just like so. Right in the opening. Lift it up. And you've got sentiment on the outside as well as on the inside, like so. Now we're going to put our flowers together. Make sure I got all the pieces. Before I do, well, let's do this. I took these pieces, and these pieces go together, and then these pieces go together. So the first thing I did was cut right here. That. And I trimmed this so that it would be smooth. Okay, those go together. Then I took this one and I did the same thing. I trimmed here and then rounded this a little bit, cut the points off, and then I trimmed this piece off. So in essence you have several pieces here. But we're going to glue them together in a certain order. Okay? We're going to take our glue and we're going to take this flower and glue this to the center of this. Just like so. You don't need a lot of glue. It's going to hold together just fine. And you just kind of center that to where this point comes up between the valley there. Just like so. And you're going to take this one and very carefully put glue just kind of on the insides of this. Excuse me. Let's start here. Just like so. Okay, and then you're going to put this piece right on top of that piece, just like so. And if it goes over on the glue, it's okay because we're going to glue that on here. You don't want extra glue here because it's going to hang over in the window, and you don't want it a bunch of sticky. So there's that flower. Okay. Now let's work on this flower. So we'll take this, the bigger part of this thing. We're going to glue this to it. Now I pretty much mostly just put glue around the bottom so it didn't come over the top, and we're going to center that right here so that this shows up in between. And we're going to take this one and glue it down right here. But you want to make sure that a little bit of that peeks through. A little bit of the Calypso coral. Doesn't have to be very much, just a little. Okay. Then this piece, just a little bit of glue on here. Glue it here, like so. And then finally you take this piece, put a little bit of glue on it. It's going to go right here. Just like so. Oops. And what I did, if part of the underneath flower was showing through and I didn't want it to, I just trimmed it off. So I really didn't want it showing through. Just like so. That looks good. So there's your other flower. Okay. Okay, now we're going to take our leaves, and these were too long, so I trimmed off half an inch or so at the top of that. So when I did the first card, the sample here, I didn't do that. I just glued it to these. Well, then when you open the card, you could see the green stem, and I didn't want to see that. So I did this. So then you're going to take a little bit of glue, a very thin line. Now you could use your double sticky, the adhesives. I can't remember what it's called, but it's adhesive paper. It's sticky on both sides. Anyway, then I put this one here, kind of, so I knew where I wanted this stem to be, with this kind of in the center, just like that. So I glued the stems down first, like so. One on each side. Okay. Then I glued my flowers down, and you got to be careful that you only put glue on the side that's being glued on the paper. You don't want any glue over here. So just put a little, doesn't have to be very much. Just put a little bit of glue on the side. And then stick it down. Looks like that. And you want to turn it over. Make sure you didn't get glue on the other side. Okay? Just like that. That looks pretty good. There is a little bit, but I don't think it'll hurt anything. And you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to put glue on this side. Just like that. Okay? And then stick that one down over here. See, this way you're not getting your flowers covering up your words. Okay, now we're doing the leaves. And I did these in a certain order. You can do yours however you want. Took one of the larger ones, put it here, like so. And have them all meet kind of in the center. And I took the other large one, and I want this leaf to kind of stick up, so I don't want to put glue all the way to the top. Except anyway, I was thinking I wanted to do it the other way, but that's okay. Stick that one down and have the stem or the leaf stick up a little bit. Okay, then this one's next. I'm sorry if I'm getting out of the frame there. We're going to put it right here. Okay. And then the last one, I'm going to put it right there. Okay. Oops. I have to hold it down to get it to stick. Almost done. And then I put a glue dot on the back of my ribbon after I tied it into a bow. And we're just going to put that right down there at the bottom. And you can trim these off a little bit if you want. It doesn't really matter. And there's your card. Very simple. Oh, forgot my butterflies. I'm actually going to put a large one here because that opening is a little bit bigger than on the other card. And I put a tiny one. I'm going to put it right there. Over here. And then I took another big one and put it up here. There. There's your card. Give me a thumbs up if you like this card. Subscribe. You can order from my online store. These are available until June, this paper. And anyway, you can find my online store, elainescustomcards.stampinup.net. You can sign up to become a demonstrator. Right now, the mini embossing cutting machine is on special. And there's several Stampin' die sets on special right now until the end of this month. So I will give you a link to that so you can find those specials. I think they're like, I don't remember if they were 20% off or 10% off. Seems like they're 10%, but I'll put it in my blog. If you click on the down arrow, you'll find a link to my blog. You have a blessed day and have fun stamping.